The weather is not just taking up his time, it could cost him money.
The biggest worry is that it doesn't hang around too long, because we're obviously using fodder that would normally use at lambing time, and it's quite precious stuff at this time of year.
For now, the snow is here, but many want to know how long it will last.
Thomas reporting. Well, let's get more on the potential travel disruption. We can speak to our reporter Maddy Savage, who's at Heathrow Airport, and the snow settling nicely on you, Maddy. Tell us what the latest is from the authorities there.
Well, what began as a light dusting of snow has now, as you say, got a lot thicker. And the latest from the authorities, we should point out, is that for the moment, flights are operating as normal. The schedule up until midnight should go ahead as planned. The issue is that this snow is expected to settle. We believe there'll be about 10 centimetres overnight, as well as freezing fog. And it's for that reason that BAA, the company that operates Heathrow Airport, says that it needs to cancel 30% of flights. That's around 350 flights starting from 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Anyone that is planning to travel is advised to check with their specific airline to find out if they're affected.
Could it be that even more than 350 flights have to be cancelled? Because, as we can see, it's coming down thick and fast.
It is coming down thick and fast, and I think the key thing for BAA is trying to prevent the chaos that we've seen during the snow of the last couple of winters. And so they've announced 30% of flights, but they are willing to follow the situation and find out what happens with the snow over the coming days. But their decision for cutting these flights at the moment, cutting them, they announced this earlier this afternoon before the snow even came, and what they say they want to do is to reduce disruption for passengers, so that those that do turn up who are able to fly won't be facing long delays, and those that can't travel will have the chance to make alternative plans from the comfort of their own home or where they're staying at the moment, rather than wrestling with all these difficulties once they get to the airport. The company insists it is very prepared. It's spent in total around £50 million on what it describes as winter preparedness. Everything from new snow ploughs, extra de-icer, more staff on hand. It's even been consulting other airports in snowy places to find out how they cope with these adverse conditions. But what it says everyone needs to remember is that Heathrow is one of the busiest airports in the world, and snow slows everything down. So we shouldn't expect Heathrow necessarily, it says, to be up to speed and to be coping with every single flight. Its focus, it says, is on making sure that customers that are able to fly are able to do so safely.
And of course, when you have to cancel flights, you end up with a backlog, and it can take quite some time to get through those passengers who are waiting. Have they got any idea of when they will be able to catch up?
Well, that's exactly the question that I put to BAA a little earlier on. And what they're saying is that these flights that have been cancelled now, people are to speak to their airlines and talk about alternatives. And it's hoped that by cutting these flights now, there shouldn't be these long queues and there shouldn't be this huge backlog of flights. I think really the test of that will be in a couple of days' time, because this cold snap is expected to last into next week. And we'll have to see whether they are able to run things as smoothly as they hope to be able to do.
Maddy, thank you very much. Maddy Savage at a very snowy Heathrow. Police investigating the murder of a retired schoolteacher, Betty Yates, near Bewdley in Worcestershire, have questioned a man about the case.